Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Baz Kinder, and in today's Wellingtone 18-minute short, I'm going to be showcasing how you can improve your approach to project management through Microsoft Teams, and I'll be doing this by demonstrating how you can set up a team with just Microsoft Planner if you're looking for something simple, or alternatively with Microsoft Project and Power Apps for something that's a bit more enterprise and PMO ready. So today I'll start by providing a very brief overview of the current work and project management landscape within Microsoft 365 before then moving on to a live demo, which will be the main focus for today. But there are some really big changes on the horizon for Planner and Project for the Web, so do stay tuned to learn more on that particular topic. Before I get into the main focus for today, I'm going to take a step back and introduce Wellingtone. And our promise to you is that by taking up our services, your project and portfolio management capability will be improved, and that is a money-back guarantee. And we've been around since 2001. We've got offices in the UK, Ireland, Spain, and India. But we do work globally to support our customers no matter where they are. And you can learn more by going to wellington.co.uk, and I do recommend you check out the website because we have got a lot of case studies on there as well. But one thing for certain, where we're going, we definitely don't need spreadsheets. And I say this because within Microsoft 365, there's a variety of apps available that are really designed to help you with your work and project management. Today, I'm going to be focusing on Microsoft Planner and Project for the Web. Again, there are some really exciting changes on the horizon that we will see in 2024, and I'll talk a bit more about that later on. But for now, Planner provides you with a simple task board view that's great for simple projects and projects that are being managed in isolation. Whilst Project for the Web really provides everything that Planner does and more. So, for example, you get the ability to create task dependencies. You've got access to a Gantt view. You can also build it up using Power Apps to create what is effectively an end-to-end PPM solution. And we've got a variety of videos on that particular topic already available on our YouTube channel. So please do go and check that out. And I will be showing the details for that a bit later. But for now, I want to keep the slides pretty light and I want to get into the demo. So I'm going to peel back the curtains now. And I'm going to start off by showing you a very simple way in which you can get started with just Microsoft Teams and Planner, which is something that anyone with either the Microsoft 365 Business Premium or Microsoft 365 Enterprise plans will have access to. I'll then jump on to show you how you can get to the next level with Project for the Web combined with the Power Platform. Again, all within the context of Microsoft Teams. So let me quickly unshare that, bring up my demo environment, and you should now see it on screen. So this is the intro page to Microsoft 365. And from here, I'm actually going to go straight into Teams. So by now, especially after the pandemic, I suspect that most of you are living and breathing Teams on a daily basis. Hence why I really want to show you how you can really transition away from spreadsheets if that's what you're using or other manual ways of working and bring everyone together in Microsoft Teams, which I've always described as the glue that brings the teams together. So here I am. I'm currently looking at the teams that I've already got in place, and we will revisit one or two of these a bit later. But how do you go about creating a team and creating a basic plan? So the first thing I'm going to do is navigate. Well, I'm already on Teams. So I'm going to go to this plus button and I'm going to create another team. I've got the option now of either creating one from scratch. So I get to decide which channels I put in, which tabs I'm going to add, which apps I'm going to incorporate into that. Or I could create a team from an existing Microsoft 365 group, and I'll be doing that in the next few minutes. But before I do that, if I scroll down, you will see there's a variety of templates available. I'm going to select one of these pre-built templates to manage a project. So I'm going to click that button there, and it tells me which channels it's going to create. It also highlights which apps it's going to add in. And of course, the one that we are interested in is this one down here. And I'm going to press next. I can now specify whether the team is going to be private. So I've got to invite people to it to create that security group, or I could make it open to anyone in the organization. I don't want to do that. I want to make this private. So I would give it a name. This is a demo team. And I can also give it a description. I'm going to be very creative and type something in. And I'm going to go ahead and create. In fact, before I do that, I did want to highlight that you can also go in and customize your channels. So if you do want to go in, rename them, add in different emojis, again, all of that is absolutely possible. But for now, I'm going to go in and create the team. I'm not going to let this complete all the way through because it does take a few minutes, because in the background it's provisioning SharePoint sites, it's setting up apps, it's doing quite a few things. It does take maybe 2 or 3 minutes to fully complete. So I'll close out and I'll go to one that I created earlier, which is, sorry, this one here. So Simple Planner Team. And you'll see that it has provided all of the channels that I demonstrated just a moment ago. And we'll navigate through some of them. Again, not going to spend too long on this because I do want to get onto demonstrating how we can do this with Project for the Web, which is the more comprehensive solution. So here we've got the general tab, and we can have ongoing conversations between the team members. Really easy to do that. We've also got the ability to create a file library that's underpinned by SharePoint. Again, I'll come back to this a bit later. So a variety of tabs have already been provided, and most of these are underpinned by SharePoint. Now, this is okay as a starter for 10. The complication here is that you would have to go in and start creating your own Power BI reports. Now, whilst you can get some of the content from, let's say, the SharePoint site, with Planner the way that it is right now, you're going to have a few issues. So trying to get that holistic overview of all of the data in one place, not so simple, and that's where Project for the Web comes into play a bit later. But I will quickly go into my project plan, and you will see that it does give me an option to set up the tab to connect this to a planner plan. So let's go in and set that up. Really easy to do. So we can give it a name. We're going to leave it as a default task name, and I'm going to save. And when I do that, it's going to give me access to a rather basic plan that is underpinned by Planner itself. So here we are, going into tasks, and this one's going to be largely empty. There's no data in there right now, but I can go in and create the task name. So let's say task 1. We can also assign a due date if we want to do that. We can also assign a person to it, and in effect, by doing this, we're creating again that team for this particular project. So I can go through again, create a very simple plan that's underpinned by the basic version of Microsoft Planner, and that's great. And in fact, you can see at the top there is a bit of a signposting saying that a new Planner experience is coming to Teams pretty soon. And again, I'll be covering that in a bit more detail shortly. Now let's take it up to the next level, and in order to do that, we are going to go to Project for the Web. And going into Project for the Web, the very first thing that I'm going to do is create a new project. So I have a variety of options. I can create something from scratch. I could also import a project from Microsoft Project Desktop if I want to do that. And I've also got a variety of templates available. And that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use one of the templates to pre-populate my plan so that I don't have to re-key all of this task information in. And here we have the marketing campaign. Standard stock template, and again, there's more development coming around this in the new year, more options around templates as well. That will be covered in a separate session. For now, I'm going to talk through what makes Project for the Web maybe a better option than the simple planner. But then obviously I'm going to go into Microsoft Teams and show you how you can tie lots of things together in the context of that particular app. So here again is my project plan for the marketing campaign. I'm currently viewing it through the format of a grid. Very simple, very traditional layout. I can extend this out. So I might want to look at things like effort, how much effort's required. I might then also want to have a look at, well, how much effort's been completed, and why not have a look at how much effort is remaining. So again, there's a variety of options there. We can also view the project through the board view, which is identical to Microsoft Planner. And again, I keep saying this, but there's some developments around that are really exciting, and I will be talking about that in a few minutes. But if we go into the board view, I'm currently viewing a variety of tasks all grouped under these bespoke buckets. I can go in, I might want to color coordinate these buckets, and I might be here for a while. This is this is fun. I enjoy doing this. So I'll stop with this one. This will be the very last one. Which color should I go for? Let's go for orange. So there we go. So you can customize these buckets, color coordinate them as well, so that things are really easy to identify and stand out. We can also go in and look at the work in the context of progress. So at the moment, we've started this project. Again, there's no progress on this. It's brand new, it's fresh. But if we did want to add updates, all we do is click, drag and drop one task from one bucket into another, and we then mark them as being either in progress. So this one's been updated to being 50% complete, or we might identify that the task has been fully completed. And of course, we can drill down into the tasks and get much more detail around everything to do with a task by, again, clicking into it. Aside from this, we also then have the timeline view, which is, it's an interactive Gantt chart, and it gives me the ability to reschedule work. So that particular task, I might decide, well, actually, it can't happen then for whatever reason, but I might also turn around and say, actually, that's maybe a bit optimistic. We need a bit more time around that particular item so I can expand things out, as I've demonstrated really badly, but let me do that again. So I'm going to expand that one out. I can also go in and create links and dependencies between the tasks. So again, there's a lot that I can do in the context of what I've demonstrated so far. We do, by the way, have a beginner's guide to Project for the Web available in our YouTube channel. So if you would like to know a bit more about Project for the Web, you'd like to understand exactly what it provides, what the capabilities in a bit more detail, then go and check out that particular video. For now, I'm going to go into the grid view, and here, this is where we're going to start getting into building the team and creating that Microsoft 365 group in the first place, and that really acts as a starter for 10 before we then go into doing a bit more with Microsoft Teams itself. So I'm going to start assigning work to people. Let's start the very first task, and we are going to find my favorite pop star again, which is Adele. When I assign Adele, it's going to ask, do I want to add this project now to a group or just assign the task? I'm going to create a group. I've got the ability of creating something that either is private or public. I've got a wide range of options. I could even change the group name. I'm going to leave it all default. So marketing campaign is the name of the group, and we are going to set this up as a private group. So create and assign. In the same way as that, I can also go in and assign other people. So let's find Megan. And by adding Megan, again, I'm going to add her to this Microsoft 365 group that we just set up. And if you look at the group members here in the top right-hand corner, you will see I've got Adele, I've got Megan, and I've got myself. I'm currently logged in as the Wellingtone demo P5 user, which is very catchy. But let's add a few more people. So let's add Lydia. Okay, Lydia, you're now in the team. Let's also maybe find Alex. Alex, you're in the team as well. And let's get rid of that pop up. And now when we go to assign resources, I'm able to pick out people from that group. So let's assign something to Alex, and let's also assign a task to Lydia. There we go. So there's our basic project plan in the context of the Project for the web app. So remember that this is the web app experience. What we want to do now is take this experience and encapsulate it within the context of Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to go in again to create a new team, and that's what we're doing. We're not going to create it from scratch. We are going to create this based upon a Microsoft 365 group that we've already set up. And there's the group that we established only a few minutes ago. Press the create button. It's now creating the team, which is really quite exciting. So here we have the marketing campaign, and we've got the general tab, which is where we are right now. So posts, this is where you can have general conversations about the project itself. So I will add something. So hi all, created this new team. I promise I don't often mistype. It's only when I'm being watched by lots and lots of people. But let's drop in an emoji as well. Let's go for, wow, really create a brand new team. So post that up. We've got file storage, which is underpinned by SharePoint. And one of the great things about bringing everything into Teams is the fact that we can actually now move files. Let me bring this into view. So we can move files from my local storage on my laptop I can click and drag all of these now to Teams, and these are all going to be uploaded one by one. But what this means is that when I'm using, let's say, a Word document or a dreaded spreadsheet, we can do things like co-authoring as a team on those items. So all great. But what we want to do is we want to view our project plan again within Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to go and add another tab. We are going to select project instead of using planner, which is what we kind of did on the previous occasion. And in doing so, it's going to pick up the only project plan that's linked to that Microsoft 365 group. So it's the marketing campaign. So we're going to select it and we are going to save. And that is now going to be made visible within our beautiful team that we've just created. So this is the exact same project plan that I had in the web experience. So there's a web experience, there's Lydia. In fact, let's go in and add in one more assignment. Let's add it to the Wellingtone demo P5 user. And if I go back to Teams, we can see that assignment has just popped up. So I've got all of the same functionality available, exactly as I do in the web experience, but now it's accessible within Microsoft Teams. And I can also expand the tab as well. So that's how we bring our project in. Beyond this, you might be thinking, well, we've got risks, we've got issues to track, we've got all of these additional items that we want to monitor. So a very simplistic way in which to do that would be to maybe go into your notes window. Let's get a OneNote set up, and through this we can set up different pages for you to manage your risks, your issues. So that again is a very simplistic way of doing things. It's probably not the ideal way of doing things if you're operating this in the context of a PMO, because when you're a PMO, you want to be able to roll information up. You want to be able to report it in Power BI, and you want to get that overarching view of the entire project portfolio at the click of a button. By operating this kind of OneNote, we're not going to be able to do that. So what we do to, again, take this to the next level is actually bring into play Microsoft Power Apps. So if I go into this other team, the project demo, I'm going to go into the general tab actually to start this off. And what I have within the general channel are various tabs. And the first tab that I'm going to go into is a project tab. So this is a specific engagement that we are managing, again, within the context of Microsoft Teams. And as before, I can expand it. I can make it much bigger. But there's my individual project. But of course, I might want to wrap around it a governance workflow. I might want my project managers to follow a specific stage gate process. I might want them to add on financial information. I might want them to request resources through a process rather than just being able to assign them as I did earlier. So in order to take you to the next level, we are going to open up the Accelerator Plus view. And this is a Power App that we have created. And again, it's the same project that I had opened earlier, so the COO Health Assessment Tool project. And in fact, if I click onto the task option there, you are going to see the same project plan that I demonstrated a few seconds ago. And again, it's fully editable. So I can go in, I can view the grid, the board, the timeline, I can move things around. I can do pretty much anything I want to do as I can do in the web experience or when I'm looking at this in a standalone tab inside of Microsoft Teams. But beyond what you've already seen, I've got the ability to, first of all, tag in a workflow, a life cycle that the project has to follow. And these are interactive. You can go in, set up checklists, get people to respond to them before they're allowed to then request permission to move on to the next phase. And even in terms of approvals, it could be a single person approval, multiple people have to review and approve. So again, there's a variety of options. I'm not going to do a deep dive around the Accelerator Plus. There is, again, a video on YouTube that does that. But to demonstrate the notion of risk and issue tracking centrally, here I've got the risks across this specific project. I can then click into any one of these items. Let's go into this one here, and we're going to get a drill down view around that risk. I've captured some high level details. I've also applied some scoring, and I can also add commentary in there as well to really bring to life what that risk is and what it means and how we're going to try and avoid it. Beyond this, again, I talked about one of the benefits of bringing things together through a Power App like the Accelerator Plus. the benefit is that you can roll this information up, and you can do that really easily in Power BI. So let's click into the Power BI tab, again, all within Microsoft Teams. And this is going to load up our reporting pack. Let's get rid of our little alert there. And here we have a variety of dashboards that we can look at. I did talk about risks, so I'm going to gravitate back towards risks initially. So this is a breakdown out of all of our risks across the entire portfolio. I can, as with any other tab, make this full screen so I really understand the big picture. And if we look at risk by category as an illustration, I might be interested in all the projects that have identified resource as being their key risk. So I click into that and I get a condensed or a filtered list of all the projects that have got resource related risks within them. And that is that. But guys, this was a very quick look at how we can bring together the project teams within Microsoft Teams itself, how we can connect them to Microsoft Planner, how we can connect them to Project for the Web, and get everyone collaborating in a safe space that is provided by Microsoft Teams, which is, of course, where many of us do live and breathe on a daily basis. You're constantly in chat, you might be looking at team calendars, you might be making calls. So again, it does make sense to bring all this together within that specific app, which is, again, Microsoft Teams. But guys, I'm going to go back now to my slide deck, and let's talk about, well, we've already unpeeled the curtains earlier, but let's talk now about what is on the horizon. What is it that I'm so excited about? So of course, today I did talk about Microsoft Planner. I also talked about Microsoft Project for the Web. Well, the big news is, and I'm going to peel back the curtains again to make this grand announcement. Well, the big news is that Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Planner, and Project for the Web, they're all being unified into one solution that is going to be called the new Planner, or just Planner, when it does get launched. And the main reason for this is that there's a lot of overlap between the existing apps. So I demonstrated Planner, and again, we have the board view, but we have the board view in Microsoft Project for the Web as well. And the challenge that many organizations have is that people might be using Planner, they might be using Project for the Web, but what they can't do is really collaborate together. So the new Planner is going to alleviate these gaps. It's going to remove that disjointed experience and give people one experience that is Planner. Of course, there's going to be different licensing tiers. So there'll be a basic Planner, there'll be a premium tier, and there might be a couple of other options as well. And we'll have more sessions coming up on that particular topic further down the line. But in terms of timelines, this is quite exciting. So when can we expect to see some of this? So you probably noticed when I was running the demonstration, there were some announcements at the top of the page saying, oh, Planner's changing, there's going to be something new coming. So if you think about Planner and To Do, they've now already become Planner. So that's one unified experience. And in the context of Microsoft Teams, where you would go in, add a tab, add the app that is Planner, let's say, or even Project for the Web. So that experience, Teams experience, will be here by spring 2024. If you want to get that standalone web experience, where you've got the option as well of embedding that web app inside of something like Microsoft Power Apps, which is something that I demonstrated with the Accelerator Plus, that will be coming later in 2024. Now, there are going to be other caveats which are yet to be announced, but these are the high-level timelines. And again, I'm really excited. I did also run a webinar recently with my colleague Huma at Microsoft, where we provided a Microsoft Planner debrief. That is going to be made available on YouTube any day now, so that video will be landing pretty soon. So guys, that was the end of this session. I do thank you for joining. I hope you found it useful. I hope you found it insightful. No doubt you will have questions, so please do not hesitate to email me at baz.kinder@wellington.co.uk. You can also follow me on LinkedIn by either doing a search for my name, or you can even open up the LinkedIn app on your iPhone, your Android device, and scan that QR code, and that'll take you right to my profile. When you are on LinkedIn, please give Wellington a follow. We do share a ton of content constantly, so do follow Wellington and stay informed. And of course, we've also got our YouTube channel, so do go and check out some of the videos that are already on there. Whilst you're there, do subscribe, do ding the notifications bell, and something that we would really appreciate, if you found this video useful, do give it a like, do add any comments, any questions that you might have, and share it with your colleagues if you think they would benefit. But everyone, thank you very much for your time today. Again, have a great day ahead, and stay tuned to us on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Lots of new announcements incoming. Thank you very much.